在本次的 DSL 之最中，我们依然为大家收集了上周的精彩镜头，下面让我们一起去揭晓吧。最厚实的脆皮，魅惑魔女这个英雄在前期一直被认为是很脆皮的英雄，小小的她好像随时都会被人收走人头。不过眼下这位好像也太被轻视了吧。最具戏剧性的开局，罗导的队伍一直以演技丰富著称，刚被兽的出场已经让大家惊艳了。不过在对方拉比克的配合下，如此出场也算是更上一层楼了吧。最淡定的等待，在面临外塔尽失、视野全无的大逆风情况下，守高地似乎只能成为最后的选择。不过接下来这位告诉我们，就算身处困境，依然能够成为全场焦点。最千钧一发的逃生，在 DOTA 2中，不管你是 carry 还是辅助，队友永远是你最坚实的后盾。关键时刻的救援总能让我们感动。不过眼下这次千钧一发的传送，还真让人有点后怕啊。最奇怪的笑点，在镜头前跟粉丝打招呼，已经是职业选手的家常便饭了。不过，如果你有这么一群队友在引你发笑，这件事就好像变得不是那么容易了。
是来自 Orange 战队的 Net， 希望我们的粉丝继续支持我们，我们会为你带来更精彩的比赛。我是来自 Orange 战队的 Net， 希望我们的粉丝继续支持我们。我是来自 Orange 战队的 Net， 希望我们的粉丝继续支持我们的战队，支持。
OK， 大家不要笑场，可以了，可以开始了，随时可以开始。1、2、3
，Orange。
好了，以上就是本期 DSL 之最的全部内容。接下来还请继续欣赏选手们的精彩表演，让我们下期再见。
好的，欢迎回来。现在您正在收看的是由游戏风云频道与完美世界共同主办的 D2SL DOTA 2超级联赛的比赛现场。我是海涛，
我是树一，
我是巴黎。那么刚刚进行的是我们倒数第2个。
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Game 2 of this best of 3 LGD International versus Team Rising Stars. God damn it!
I haven't even been making those
I didn't even finish that though, so that doesn't count. But it's going to be Game 2 now. Rising Stars. They are currently tied with LGDint 1 and 2 in the group. Winner of this, winner of this best of 3.
You're failing. You're failing. Like for the past
hey,
3 days,
shut up.
I have not made a single mistake at
He's got this evil smile on his face, guys. But okay, we'll try this again. LGDint versus Rising Stars, a best of 3. Rising Stars leading the set 1-0. If they take this game 2, they will be moving on to the playoffs as the 3 seed coming out of Group B. LGDint, they need to win 2 in a row. They've got to take this game 2.
Yep. And the draft already well underway. LG International actually banning out Chan and Enchantress, like you pointed out. Last game, Misery definitely play those jungle heroes quite well, and it's their playstyle for their supports, right? They do roam a lot to set up ganks, or at least that was their style when they are kind of on the rise in China a couple months ago. But now it seems like they're going to be sticking to a little bit more laning strategies. Darkster, maybe it's going to be on the long lane. Maybe it's going to be one of those jungle Darkster that plays very greedily like we saw last game.
Well, for LGDN, they'll go for a Sand King here. So they get the Sand King Visage. Very, very heavy damage from these supports coming out in the mid game. The team fight's going to be fantastic, but no carry, no hard late gamer as of yet. So Rising Stars, they'll be banning those solo mids with the Slark, and then, of course, the Spectre here. Well, I'm curious to see what is LGDN going to go for this game. What kind of a strategy will it be? Visage, Sand King. With Sand King there as the initiator, it's just not that dominant of a tri-lane because you can't really jump anyone too easily. But if they do get the stun, if they have some good sort of initiating carry in the tri-lane, could be very scary.
Yeah, if you look at the Rising Star tri-lane themselves, they have Shadow Demon and Alchemist. That's not exactly too strong of a combo. I mean, you have Disrupt and then you stun in, but by the time that you're doing that, you're getting stunned, you're getting slowed, you're eating soul assumption. So
it's very good against an off-lane solo, but not so good against the dueler tri-lane.
And I imagine LG International is going to take the tri-lane fight to your face because they have the better tri-lane. Or, I mean, if you want to just safe lane farm a Visage, that's fine too. Weaver is going to be the pickup here. And that's going to take advantage of the fact that there is really no true lockdown so far. I mean, you have stun from Alchemist, you have Clockwork, but those are not reliable ways to keep Weaver kind of pinned down.
As for Rising Stars, what will they go for this game? What kind of hero do they want on their side? They've got the Alchemist, the Clockwork. Either of these heroes can go solo mid. Off lane is possible for the Clock. You can aggressive tri-lane with Alchemist, but like you said, not the strongest tri-lane. And I like what LGDint have done here because they picked Darkseer and Weaver, and there's no solo that's going to easily deal with either of those heroes 1v1. Maybe something like a Lone Druid if Rising Stars want to go for that, but most likely they'll have a strong tri-lane with the Weaver or the Darkseer, either way they want to go, and or even some other hero yet to be picked, and then the other hero will have a 1v1 matchup against something like a Clockwork. LGDN, in theory, could win the tri-lane and that safe lane.
Yeah, I mean, they have very good laning heroes to make up for the fact that their mid game right now looks a tiny bit weak. It depends on how the laning stage goes. For Rising Star, I'm expecting something like Kunkka coming out here. They already have the SD. That's going to be some good mid-game kind of setup combo. They have a ton of initiation power. And you, like, for example, you hook in with Clockwork, and then you follow with Alchemist putting down Acid Spray. You follow up with the Torrent Bolt combo. It's a line that we've seen, for example, LG China use a ton, and they use it to great effects.
Yeah, maybe we'll even see 2 AoE heroes. Kunkka, Lina might be the choice,
Sure,
and they'll go Lina now, and it leaves their options wide open for that final hero. Could even be something, I feel like a Gyrocopter in this tri-lane would be pretty strong. Weaver has to be in close to do damage, Sandkin as well. That's where the Flat Cannon can really hurt you and gives you that punch after the setup, the Shadow Demon Disrupt, into the Lina stun. So if they want to go something like Gyro, I think Rising Stars can actually get away with a third farmer here. We'll see what LGDN ban, though. They do have 1 ban left.
Yeah, for those of you guys that are just joining us, LGDN is down 1 game in this best of 3 series, and this series matters a lot, right? It's for the third place.
It's an elimination match, not by default, but because of the way Group B is developed. Both of these teams are 1 and 2. Orange and DK already guaranteed to be first and second place in the group. That best of 3, they're both 3-0, will be happening tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. But yeah, for this match, Lumi, like you said, it's an elimination match. Loser will be 4th in the group. They will be going home. Winner, 3rd place, going to the playoffs.
Just want to point out that the BTS laundry machine is scaring the shit out of me. Every time like the engine turns, the lights dim, and I just don't know if our computers is going to shut down.
Yeah, we also, when the air conditioning goes on in the studio, sometimes that causes some power surges, or at least the lights flicker. Kawa has a small aneurysm, a small heart attack, and, well, then the show goes on. The show must go on after all. DK will be the final ban here for Rising Stars, and I guess they do need LGDint does need a solo mid. We could see the Weaver go mid. We could see the Darkseer, but I think these heroes are better suited to the side lane. So most likely LGDint, they'll go for that G hero right now.
Yeah, DK is actually a fairly smart ban because if you look at the Rising Stars, all 4 of their heroes are kind of basically single target focused.
Yeah.
So if you pick up some sort of tanky frontline tank that you have to deal with like a Dragon Knight, then you just actually blow a ton of your nuke damage on a hero that may or may not easily buy back and then just come in and just win a team fight. So LG may be smart enough on this and just pick another kind of tanky hero. Magnus is a great frontline tank.
Yeah, and the other thing is this looks to be a game for LGDint where Darkseer might have a very fast mech, a very fast pipe.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like Rising Stars are going to be able to dominate him in the lane unless... I mean, he can even go jungle if they do run a defensive tri-lane, if they try to match up against the Darkseer. So Darkseer's going to have a good start. If you get the DK as well, your 5-man is ridiculous. But, well, TA will be the choice here for LGDint. They'll go back for... If you flash back a few months to the G League Season 2, G was getting massive respect from the Chinese teams. Every game, his Templar Assassin was getting banned. Oftentimes, even in the first stage, in the first 2 bans, targeted bans to try and shut him down. We haven't really seen this hero getting much respect as of late, and it'll slip through as this final pick.
I think part of it is teams learning how to deal with the Templar Assassin. You just don't let her snowball out of control as much.
As far as the banning went, though, it was mostly against LGDN. It wasn't in general they would ban TA, it was versus LGDN they would ban it.
And since then, as in general, I think they figure out how to
Gotcha.
deal with, yeah. Like Templar Assassin, it's an okay hero to... You lose a lane against Templar Assassin with most heroes. But for the most part, if you don't let her to get a 10-minute triple kill all over the map, then you're okay. You're okay.
You know, the one interesting thing is they'll pick into TA against an Alchemist. Alchemist Acid Spray, that's going to immediately remove your refraction
and
charges.
Shadow Poisons.
And Shadow Poison as well, which can remove 2 charges per Shadow Poison if you want to pop them every time that you spam them out. So it's a lot of ways to remove refraction in this game, but they are on the dire side. They have a Weaver, so they have a lot of minus armor, and of course the meld will work on Roshan, and the minus armor in general is great with Visage. We've seen Visage, one of those supports that rushes a medallion often before anything else, so
I think that's what we saw.
Because they're on dire side, this is a pretty strong pick.
Yeah, I think this is what we saw out of Orange yesterday. Remember, it was like a medallion, and then there had another minus armor, and the Mel Strike took somebody's hero down from half HP.
It was doing like 500 damage.
Yeah, it was like instant,
600 damage.
Instant kill. So we might see something like that this game. The final and last pick here from Rising Star, it's going to be Juggernaut, and it's a 1-row Juggernaut. This is rarely seen, but I'm not sure how well it works. The last time I saw it, it worked quite well. We'll see if it's going to work out here. Xiao Tuji, it's going to be playing that Juggernaut. Era, the solo mid player for this game. It's going to be playing Alchemist mid. Mofi's going to be handling Alina. We have Super playing Shadow Demon once again. And last but not least, we have XTD going top lane as the Clockwork.
Those are the boys on Rising Stars. Of course, they are leading this best of 3 1-0, guys. It's an elimination match, and now LGD, they're actually on match point. They can't afford to lose another game. They've got to win 2 in a row, or they will be going home. They'll fall short in yet another event. For these boys, they started strong when they came to China in the G League Season 2, but they got to find a way, and where there's a will, often there is that way. Pycat will be handling the Weaver. 1437 on the Visage. We may have a small clash here. Misery could be handling the Sand King. We'll have G on the Templar Assassin, and last but not least, it will be Brax handling the Darkseer. Back to that 3-roll like we saw last game. They're going to find Mofi. What an aggressive move by Rising Stars, walking right into 5, and that is exactly what the Doctor ordered. They'll find an easy first blood there. Rising Stars, very cocky play.
Bottom before 0 minute. G's going to have an easy time on the mid lane.
Lane is hard.
Yeah, lane is now actually very, very hard. I do want to point out the net worth graph is completely bugged out right now. The net worth chart, because... No, chart. Look at the chart real fast. Because I don't even know how Visage has 78 net worth right now. How's that even possible? He's got items on him, but okay. Valve. Volvo, please fix.
Jesus, Louie. As though you need more memes in your arsenal. You've now got another one to work with.
Any case,
even Kawa is just laughing at Lumi in the studio, and
hey.
the BTS laundry machine going off again here. But we'll get underway, and like you said, lane. Well, this is exactly what G wanted. He'll start with the bottle now at level 1, and I still think Air should do all right simply because of how good Acid Spray is again at removing refraction charges, but it'll be much easier for G than it otherwise would have been.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that early bottle so that he doesn't really care too much at all. And my attention is mostly on this bot lane. Who do you think wins this bot lane here? On one side, you have 2 600 range heroes, or Lina 635 range, and you have a carry here that can spin away from most aggressions. But on the other, it's a free farm on the Weaver, I feel like.
I mean, it's kind of interesting for both teams because who do you actually go on? Weaver, you can't really go on him as Rising Stars simply because he'll just Sakuchi away after the disruption, the stun, unless he mistimes it or wastes it. If you go on the Juggernaut, he's just going to Blade Fury out, and it's hard to even get in range for that initial Burrow Strike. So feels to me like both teams probably won't find kills unless they just flat out screw up, and they'll actually smoke Misery.
Yeah,
and head
one
towards
man
mid.
smoke.
At level 1, this is rather unusual to say the least. If you see the roam, it's usually with 2, but this might be what they're hoping for, is just to kind of catch air unaware.
That courier's right there. Do you go for that courier? No, he's just going to go for the first blood instead. Is there any Mail Strike? Mail Strike not even necessary.
Yeah, remember, it's not first blood here, but it is going to be that second kill going the way of LGDint.
That's completely fine, not first blood, because you got the original first blood, and now he's still doing quite okay.
If there ever was a recipe to snowball, this is it. First blood is going to find another kill, and I mean, maybe should have gone for the courier there, but it was a level 1 Burrow Strike, and that's the risky play. You Burrow Strike in to try to hit the courier. If it just gets out of range, you end up dying to the tower, not getting the kill. You've just allowed Alchemist to back into that middle lane.
And sometimes
so it's a safe play for Misery.
Sometimes you might even take 2 kits to kill with courier, like a level 1 or 2. I'm not too sure. It depends on certain heroes. But in any case, looks like TA finds himself an invisibility rune. Going to go back in mid lane, continue shutting him hard. I mean, this is one of the ways for LGDint to win game, right? Where you have G just snowball completely out of control. Mid lane, Mel Strike, right click, air down to about half HP. He does have his bottle now, but it's just a world of difference. G's going to have phase boots in like 2-3 minutes.
Again, it's still going to be hard for G just to solo kill air, because if he dives air, he has no refraction for the tower. So he's always got to dive it with creep support. It's still possible to kill him, but the timing will have to be right for it. And Super is actually very confident in this bottom lane, just marching forward. Would love for Rising Stars to initiate, I guess, or for LGDint to initiate, and then you've got the Blade Fury to kind of turn things around. But the one lane we haven't looked at, Lumi, it's going to be that off-lane Clockwork for Rising Stars. XDD is 10-1 in this lane against a safe lane Darkseer, only 12-0 for Brax. XDD doing a lot better than I would have expected.
Well, at least for now. Oh, nice juke out here from Brax. Brax now doing a very smart thing, pulling the creep wave. Look at this huge stack. You could just drop an Iron Shot, but the 2 Furbolgs are just stomping the hell out of Brax. He's running left, he's running right. That Iron Shot on creeps doing a little bit of work as well. He's trying to man-fight this one. I think he might win because the Iron Shot damage is absolutely OP. Brax just breaking the ankles of that Clockwork on top lane. Great place.
Yeah, that looked really bad for him. The Battery Assault wearing off at just the right moment. If he'd gotten, say, a second or more of it to work with, would have gone the other way. But instead, Brax pulls out a desperately needed kill, because it looked like he was having a bit of trouble in this lane. And, well, not desperately needed, but to some extent needed at any rate. And now, Rising Stars losing all 3 lanes here, basically. Even the tri-lane, you're looking at Pycat. Well, not losing this lane, but he's still getting decent farm as an off-lane Weaver. At times, it's even just a dual lane. You can't even really call this bottom lane a tri-lane, because Sand King's been all around the world. So I would say they're basically winning all 3 lanes, winning 2, and at least breaking even in 1.
Yeah, Juggernaut does have 18 CS, but I'm not sure whether that 18 CS is going to be enough. He's going to be going for a quick phase boost. They need to disrupt the Sand King. They need to follow up with the LSA and a spin and go for a kill of their own. But Sand King, as well as Visage, is going to stay very far back. They're not going to get initiative on, and there's just no way you're going to kill that Weaver.
This is so annoying for 1437. He knows if he walks up the river here, he'll get disrupted, Light Striker raid, and then there's going to be the Blade Fury. But he really wants to come. He doesn't want to have to walk around the long way. Finally, Misery's going to drive him back. He's got boots. He's got his level 2 Burrow Strike here. Again, you don't want to go on Juggernaut. You have to go on Shadow Demon, or he just disrupts whoever you're initiating on. So I don't feel LGD are going to get many kills in the lane, and that's why we'll see Misery head towards mid again.
Yep. I mean, that one-man smoke gang worked, and he's not smoked up this time, but he does have level 3 as well as a boot to speed, so that should be enough.
And there's already level 6 on TA. This is and 2 traps in the lane. Perfect for G. He'll go in now. The Acid Spray is going to remove all the refraction off the bat. It removes them again. It doesn't matter, though. Air will go down. Great movement for Misery in this early game, and LGD off to a very hot start. While that was happening, though, they did lose their Weaver bottom. Pycat actually gets picked off, maybe got caught when he tried to Sakuchi away, and, well, then he probably didn't have his escape mechanism. But LGDN, still a big lead for them. 4-1 the score. We'll take a look at the gold graph here, and about a 1,500 gold lead, 1,500, and a little bit of change, 1,750 perhaps experience lead. They're looking good here in the laning stage.
Yeah, remember the team composition of Rising Star wants to go for those solo kills. It's disruption into Soul Catcher into LSA or Clockwork Hook into like a single stun from Alchemist. It is all single target, and when you give Brax this kind of start on the top lane, looks like he's gonna find himself another solo kill. Clockwork Hook gets blocked up here. No mana on Brax just yet. He's gonna bottle up. Is Templar Assassin coming in? XCD, if he gets to those traps, he's gonna get slowed down. He turns around.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, it's gonna be 1437 on the run. Xiaotuji trying to draw him down. He's got the phase boots. He'll be able to do it. Now they go on to Super. They're looking for the counter kill here, and it looks like Super should be falling. Salves up, jukes through the trees. Pycat does have one more Sakuchi, but the stun is there. Diving the tower now would be a little bit greedy. He's not going to go for it. He'll back off. He'll chip away at Xiaotuji in the end, and Xiaotuji actually just going to stand there and slap him down with that big Juggernaut sword of his. So in the end, well, G looking very strong, lurking mid. He's got the meld crits. He's going to go in. I don't know if it's a long enough stun. It doesn't look like it. A third trap thrown out. Air. G, didn't factor in the magic stick in the end. Air. Able to pop that at the last possible second and live. Just a miscalculation there from G. Would have had the kill if he had just chased through it, but thought he had it without it.
I'm completely surprised G made that kind of play. That's not a play that you expect.
Oh, what a play by Xiaotuji.
Dodging a barrage.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah. That's not the plays that you expect a solo mid player of G's caliber. He just kind of misfactored a magic stick, missed a kill, and he's still dominating the mid lane like absolutely hard, but still, it's...
It does happen, but again, I feel for LGDint, just they want G to have that powerful start. Not necessarily because of their lineup, because their lineup is actually a very strong 5-man just group up and fight lineup, but more because I just feel like this team kind of needs that jump start. Like, this is a team that just, it feels like LGDint just doesn't have that spark or that fire, and G is definitely their most fiery and aggressive player. See, he has that explosive start, and he can definitely carry this team. And well, in spite of the fact he doesn't find the kill there, he's still 39-14. He's still winning this middle lane very heavily. And Air, well, he's getting levels, but that's about it. We're not going to see that early mech on solo mid Alchemist this game.
Yeah. This is very reminiscent of the Moscow 5G that just goes to Storm Spirit and gets 20 Bloodstone charges by 10 minutes in and just solo handily wins the game. And let's see if he's going to do it this one. Traps all over the river, trying to spot the 8-minute rune, and he could basically do whatever he wants. He's not even in fear of leaving the lane and having Alchemist push it out a little bit, because Alchemist, after he push it out towards the river, Alchemist should know that there's traps on the map, and he just can't push past this point, or he'll be dead. And look at that, Templar Assassin. When you're lucky, you're good as well. You find yourself double damage, and it looks like we might see some kills on the bot lane.
Yeah, it's better to be both. It's not better to be lucky than good. It's better to be both. And G, lucky and good this game. And, well, he's got the DD. Maybe it's one of those games where you even just rush the Blink Dagger. I mean, as of late, we've seen the Drums phase, or not the Drums phase, but the Drums Yasha build become a lot more popular. I think we even saw one of the Orange players use that build the other day.
He's going to be going this build this game.
But I think Blink Dagger could be decent. Yeah, like you said. It looks like he'll go for the Drums, at least picking up the Bracer now, which I think is a fine choice. He's ultimately going to be their main damage dealer. Weaver is just not a hard carry, and not with the amount Pycat's farming. So I think it's a fine choice.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that there is an asset cloud on the ground. Like, it's harder to blink in some of these long chasing team fights. And more importantly, you recognize that there is Laguna Blade on the map, and having extra HPs through the string treads as well as bracers, definitely not a bad addition. And it looks like he's going to siege in this mid tower a little bit.
Fantastic ward here from Misery. Just plops it down behind the tier 1, but perhaps even better awareness from Air. Lurking in the jungle, not going to get caught. XDD will TP in mid. This has been spotted out, of course, by that Observer ward, but maybe he'll go for a hook here. If he did, it could be dangerous. Pycat no TP. Actually, 1437 no TP. So they'll sit bottom. They'll continue to get levels and farm there. And for the time being, both teams roaming around, but nobody really accomplishing things here. We're now 10 minutes in. We'll take another look at the graphs, and it's about a 2K gold lead for LGDint. Just under a 2K experience lead. The big thing for me is that LGDint, it's not so much the amount of an advantage they're having, it's the fact that they're finally having an advantage, Lumi, because it feels like it's been a while since they've had one in a big game.
Yeah, generally they pick very safe lineups where, you know, they will try to grind you out in a game. It's very rare that they pick a lineup like this, where you rely on early game burst damage coming in from Visage and basically just kind of storm out of gates, and so far it's working out very beautifully. G, again, continuing to snowball out of control. 10-minute brood, gonna get snatched up top.
I don't know if I would say snowballing out of control, but he's definitely having
3-0-0.
Yeah,
he's 55-15. I don't know.
End of the day, he got those 2 early kills, but he's been pretty slow in terms of the action since then. They'll search Misery in. They want to go on XDD. He does get off his battery assault. Cogs could be very devastating here. It'll push everyone away. G's trapped out. He tries to jump in, but this could be dangerous. XDD actually lobbing a hook shot in there. Looks like 1437 will go down to the acid. The turnaround, LGDint rotate 4 heroes to the top lane. They get nothing. and it's all because of the cogs.
You do not dive a Clockwork. It doesn't matter if you have 4. That's the reason why power
They
cogs.
want Pycat bottom lane. They've got the Omni Slash. Pycat has time lapse, but he could be in a lot of trouble. Omni's going to come through, blown up in a hurry. Now G's going to join the fight, but the healing ward's there. You can't slow him when he's got the Blade Fury going, and he'll actually man back up.
Xiaotuji.
Wow, overextension there by Xiaotuji. Definitely could have just ran to the tower and lived, but thought, I can remove these refraction charges with Blade Fury. I can turn this one around. He was very wrong.
Yeah, he was indeed.
Very wrong.
Have you seen G's Templar Assassin? He's the person that got first blood on your team, or against your team. And well, that's a quick drums. We're seeing 11 minutes drums, treads, and
top
bottom.
lane, Burrow straight in on Super. He's overextended. He'll get picked off here as well. Maybe not. Rotation in from XDD. Oh, the commitment there from Misery. He wanted that kill. He's going to pay with his life. One more Shadow Poison brings him down. He could have just backed off, but he got greedy. And the cogs once again. LGDint consistently underestimating these here in game 2.
Yeah, the amount of cog blocks this game is just absolutely amazing.
And the amount of inappropriate things chat is about to say is going to be pretty amazing.
You know, it's just
I'm gonna ask you to bring up the chat while I continue observing the game.
I can't. I gotta watch for more cog blocks. XDD though, farming up top. Teleportation going on the bot lane here. Templar Assassin, even though he's actually got all these items, it seems like he's not really finding a ton of kill. I think there's going to be one kill here.
Yeah,
Mofi.
He's about to find one here. Mofi, stick charge is not going to matter. Blown up in a hurry. Now maybe it's fair to call it snowballing. 5-0, 12 minutes in, and picked up 2 kills in the mid game. For me, that's the big thing. There'll be a hook mid, though. Catching out 14-37, latching him there, but is it a mistake? Once again, the teams that are diving seem to be overextending time and time again. XDD, what a beautiful back from Brack. Pulling 2 back to max range, but it won't be enough to find that secondary kill, at least not yet. Pycat, well, not going to commit fully here, but they do get the Clockwork, and for me, it's just neither team should be aggressive, Lumi, because every time they tower dive, every time they overextend, or every time they get aggressive, it's overextending.
Yeah, but both teams have very, by nature, aggressive lineup, right? Nobody's really farming. I mean, sure, there's an Alchemist, but he's not playing that one-row Alchemist. He's only got that 1 point Greedful Greed. You have a Juggernaut. You have a Templar Assassin. Speaking of Juggernaut, might be a little bit trouble in this bot lane. Traps after him. But yeah, I mean, when you have an aggressive lineup, you just, I guess, don't want to farm with it, and they tower dive.
Well, for Rising Stars, I think, considering they have Greedful's Greed, and they've just got this very strong defensive lineup, they're the ones who do want to sit back. As for LGDint, I think they want to be aggressive, but maybe not this second. I mean, farm the enemy jungle, sure, kind of pressure them, sure, but I don't think they need to be diving for kills. They've got the mech up on Brax. They can use this to siege towers, to just kind of group up and fight. But it can be a methodical fight. I don't feel it has to be a hyper-aggressive one. And they do have the familiars now as well for 1437. So everything coming together here for LGDint. They now lead by a little bit over 2K experience, 3K gold. This is a substantial lead. And the big thing above all else is going to be the mech on Brax. Here comes the push mid.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you want to make those dive, you make the safer ones. You have to mech to bail you out. You have your next tier of items, like a Yasha, but no, instead it's going to be Ogre Club.
Super might die here to some familiars. Double stun, not really microed perfectly.
Slow here.
Well, I don't know if they want to dive this anyway. There's still disruption available.
G's thinking about it. He's running into 5. Wow.
G Dota for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, and they're not done yet. Brax is going to come in, catches out 3. That isn't going to be enough. That's the question, though. The burrow through only clips Xiaotuji. They both end up getting stung by the Alchemist. Now the wall's dropped as well. XDD going to Blade Fury, or rather, Xiaotuji's going to Blade Fury. XDD's just going to run. Dex Xiaotuji in a world of trouble. He's already popped Omni Slash, and this is where Darkseer does so much work. When you're on the run, you can't escape. There's no running from LGDint. They're going to get a triple kill on G. It's definitely a snowball now, Lumi. Looking at G, 8-0-0. He's had a lot of help to get rolling, but now he's cruising down the hill.
Remember what I said during the draft? You just don't give a Templar Assassin a triple kill during the mid game? That's exactly what they did. And this game
now the game is going to be very, very tough for Rising Stars.
I mean, you were jokingly saying, oh, guys, LGN got Visage. We're going to go to game 3. I was like, no, that can't happen. It's... Well, not sure if this is a Visage, but...
As much as I'm sure AUI would be trying to say it's the Visage this game, it's really
all
not.
The TA. It's all the TA.
It's the TA, and it's the movement of Misery. Misery Sandcane has really broken this game open, setting up G multiple times there. The first blood, and then that second kill. He got the ball rolling, and now G is just, well, he's having fun.
Well, they're going to try to siege down a tier 1 tower as well. The early mech also puts a big pressure on, like, for example, Laguna Blade or any type of single target initiation coming from Rising Star. They just don't even have nearly enough damage to compete, and they're going to lose yet another tower without being able to siege it. In fact, if LGN wants to push for tier 2, no, they won't. They're going to defend their tier 1 mid, or at least try to, as Rising Star forcing some issue. Is LG Brax going to
Well, they do have this mech on air. It's coming now in the courier, as well as Healing Ward. Rising Stars, we can't underestimate their ability to group, just because they have Healing Ward and mech and cogs. I mean, these three together could make things hard, but the backstab's coming in. It's going to be super XDD, both slowed up. 2 traps slowing 2 heroes both times. Now back in. Only 1 familiar stun to connect, but super in a lot of trouble. 1 more auto attack will bring him down. Now XDD isolated and picked off.